She can't beat me no fight. Come on now, let's be logical.
I know she can't beat you, but I'm tired of folks saying that she can beat you. I know they can't. Like, I be like, man, that girl is a trained fighter.
And sparring, because I think I'm gonna do some sparring. I've never in my life did sparring. I wanna do it. I wanna do some sparring.
On Twitter, and put up on Twitter and gonna say, I fight Tesehki or Ivory. One thing about me, you'll fight me, but I'm gonna train the same way you gonna train. I will beat the fuck out of her.
Claressa?
Yes, if I train and didn't smoke and drink, because what she got so amped up off of is from drugs and alcohol, like no training. This is just natural. Bitch, you train every day. Bitch, you can't do a fight without training, ho. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me do your training you doing, and let me not be off that weed and poppers. Bitch, I'm the motherfucking champion around this bitch.
A Christian's sister. And people ask me, do I think I can beat her in a fight? I said, do I think or do I know? She needs to be checking her fans and not checking me or trying to clock my teeth, talking about she used to like me. Girl, you never came to a fight. You never said congrats on the motherfucking world championship. You never mentioned me in a good light. So no, you did not ever like me, and that doesn't matter to me. But to sit here and say you can whoop some ass and you out here popping pills and doing everything you're doing, you're not gonna whoop nobody ass. You need to go to rehab and get that shit out your system.
Welcome back to Celebrity Press, where we don't just spill tea, we serve it hot with extra steam. Let's talk about Tesehki, because when it comes to drama, she's not just in the mix, she's usually the one stirring the whole pot. This woman has never walked away from a fight unfinished, and now she's giving folks a front row seat to one of the wildest beefs we've seen all year. So here's what went down. Claressa Shields might have thought she had the upper hand when she took shots at Tesehki, but Tesehki didn't just clap back, she bodied the whole situation by making a bold move that had the internet spinning. She allegedly cozied up to Papoose, and then flaunted the whole vibe online just to make sure Claressa saw every bit of it. Talk about a digital knockout. Claressa's reaction, she's been on 10 ever since. She's calling Tesehki disrespectful, fake, and vowing that if she ever sees her in person there's going to be real smoke. Her exact words, "She better not let me catch her." That's not just internet talk, she's heated, but Tesehki, she's unbothered, unshaken, and louder than ever. She's been telling anybody who will listen that she's got the hands and instincts of a natural-born fighter. No cap, she claims that if she ever trained the way Claressa does, full gym, full camp, there wouldn't be a single female out here who could match her energy or lay a finger on her. She's also standing firm on one thing Claressa started. This Tesehki's been saying over and over again that Claressa threw the first punch not with fists but with words. She threw shade, made slick comments, and pushed Tesehki to react. But now that Tesehki turned up the heat and put the nail in the coffin, suddenly Claressa's trying to play the victim. People online are split. Some are calling Tesehki out for being petty, but her fans say she's just keeping it real. One thing's for sure though, nobody plays mind games like Tesehki, and she's not scared of stepping in the ring online or in real life.
I remember the first time you called me out. I remember. You called me and Ivory out. You was like, ain't no street bitch beating me up. That's what she said. She's like, she had 100K. She was like, I got 100K for either Tesehki or Ivory. And then the hashtag was like, ain't no street bitch beating me up. Coming down, I seen it. I was like, who the fuck is this lady?
Let's rewind the tape real quick, because if you really look back about a year ago, you'll see Tesehki wasn't just talking when she said, Claressa lit the match that started all this drama. The receipts are right there for anyone with eyes to see. Out of nowhere, Claressa dropped a bold post on social media straight up saying she had $10,000 cash for any woman who thought they could take her in the ring. Didn't matter if you were a pro fighter or just someone with hands from the block. She wanted all the smoke. She said, your city, your state, your country. If you think you bad, then step up. Now look, that kind of flex isn't something you just post for fun. That was a straight up challenge to the streets, and the internet caught fire immediately. As soon as that post went live, people flooded the comments, and you already know whose name got dropped over and over. Tesehki people were tagging her like, yo, this your fight. See, Tessie don't just have attitude, she's got that switch, and when it flips it's chaos. 1 second she's smiling at you, the next you're waking up in a hospital with a fat bill and loose teeth. Folks already knew better than to test her, but this fight right here, this was the one people were actually hyped for. A legit matchup. Real talk, folks said they'd pay real money to see those two throw down. So when Claressa showed up on that interview series, Pop the Balloon, somebody brought it up, asked her straight out if she still felt like she could take Tesehki, and guess what? Claressa didn't back down even a little. She doubled down with full confidence, saying Tesehki and every other woman on baddies couldn't even touch her level. Claressa made it crystal clear she believes she trains harder lives cleaner, and takes the fight game way more serious than anybody else in that scene. According to her, Techie's tough in the streets, but wouldn't last around with someone built for the sport.
She can't be beating me no fight. Come on now, let's be logical.
I know she can't beat you, but I'm tired of folks saying that she can beat you. I know they can't. Like, I be like, man, that girl is a trained fighter.
I appreciate that, but you know what? I got a lot of respect for Tesehki and Krishan. If Tesehki ever wanted to do it, I would do it. But
I know your win, though.
She beating those girls up on baddies. Them girls ain't
No
never
training.
trained.
Yeah.
They got body work
I
done.
know going.
Yeah, it's different.
You already know Techie wasn't going to sit quiet after that the minute the clip of Claressa's interview started making rounds. Techie jumped online with fire in her fingertips. She went live faster than anyone could refresh their feed, and trust she had plenty to say.
Only way Claressa would be able to fight me is if I were to be a professional fucking fighter. If I go and train the same amount of time that she trained, and then I would get in the paint and beat the fuck out of whoever.
Here's where it gets wild, because honestly Claressa probably should have never stepped into this kind of mess to begin with. She's a world-class athlete, a certified boxing champ who's taken home medals on the Olympic level. That's elite status, so folks were scratching their heads wondering why she's out here throwing shots in the middle of internet beef. Like it's open mic night. Instead of focusing on training camp sponsorship deals and leveling up in the ring, Claressa somehow ended up tangled in the wild web of street drama, and once Techie locked eyes on her as the target, it was game over. Tesehki wasn't about to let that slide. When she landed a spot on the Jason Lee show, she took full advantage of that mic. No filters, no backtracking. Just straight talk. She called out Claressa by name and unleashed a whole verbal combo. She said Claressa was acting out of character, like someone who couldn't handle seeing another woman shine in her own lane. She think just cause she got medals she untouchable. Techie said on the show, "Girl, please respect the sport, but don't come for me like I ain't been through real stuff. You train to fight, I fight to live. There's a big difference."
Twitter and put up on Twitter and go say, I fight Tesehki or Ivory. One thing about me, you'll fight me, but I'm gonna train the same way you gonna train. I will beat you.
Claressa?
Yes, if I train and didn't smoke and drink, cause what she got so amped up off of is from drugs and alcohol. Like, no training. This is just natural. Train every day. You can't do a fight without training, ho. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me do your training you doing, and let me not be off that weed and poppers. I'm the champion around this.
You could tell Techie had been holding on to some real tension toward Claressa, like this wasn't just beef, but something that had been simmering under the surface for a minute. The way she spoke, it was deeper than just a few online jabs. It felt personal. She saw Claressa's comments not just as shade, but as straight-up disrespect in Techie's eyes. Claressa had been tossing little slick remarks just to get attention, throwing subtle shots here and there, almost like she didn't take her seriously. Techie wasn't buying that. "I'm just focused on boxing" act. She felt like Claressa had been poking at her on purpose, and now she was finally fed up. And let's be real, in the boxing world, people love to say there's no comparison between a trained pro and a street fighter. Claressa's been to the top of the game, Olympic level skills, years of structured training, strict discipline, and certified belts to prove it. Meanwhile, Tesehki's fights most get broken up by security before they even hit round 2, but that didn't shake her confidence at all. Techie has been saying it loud and clear, if she had that full athletic setup Claressa's had, it'd be a wrap. She said she wouldn't just go toe-to-toe, she'd wipe the floor with her in the ring. That's how much she believes in her raw power, natural instincts, unfiltered aggression, and survival skills that no training camp can teach.
Natural trained killer. Natural born trained killer. So if I really went and trained and sparring, because I think I'm gonna do some sparring. I never in my life did sparring. I wanna do it. I wanna do some sparring. Because like all the sparring that you guys see me doing on baddies and the fights that people see me do when I was a child, that all was just natural. So I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna give me some professional training. Then we go see what's going on.
Claressa could have let it slide. She really could have just chalked it up as another online back and forth and moved on. Most celebs get tagged in drama every day and keep it pushing, but this, oh no, Claressa took every word Techie said straight to the heart. She didn't brush it off, didn't laugh it off, didn't even hit mute. Instead, she fired back, and not with more talk. Claressa came with action. She put $300,000 on the table, cold hard cash, and told Tesehki to meet her in the ring. That's not pocket change, that's real money, and a real challenge. People were stunned. It wasn't just a flex, it was Claressa sending a message. If you really think you can hang with me, here's your shot. No talking, no Twitter fingers. Just gloves and lights. The sports world, the entertainment blogs, the fans on every platform, everyone started buzzing.
Make another poll. Again. who do you think I should fight? Who do you think will give me a better fight out of these two women here? And I'm gonna put me in the middle. I'm gonna put me in the middle, and I'm gonna put Krishan's sister on one side, and I'm probably gonna put Ivory on the other side, or I'm gonna put Krishan's sister on one side and put Dolly on the other, and I'll let the fans.
Let's be real for a second. Claressa was starting to look real extra with how deep she was getting into this whole situation. Like, yeah, Tesehki said what she said, but was all this back and forth really necessary from a world champ? A lot of fans thought Claressa was doing too much, and they let her know. The comments weren't kind. People were like, why are you pressed over some reality show, girl? You're supposed to be focused on your title. But Claressa wasn't having it. She hit back at the criticism and made it clear she felt disrespected to the core. She said the only reason she was acting this way was because Tesehki, or as she called her Dashiki, had been throwing heavy shade and disrespecting her name online. She claimed that when somebody talks about her like that, she's not just going to let it slide. That was her pride on the line, and she wasn't backing down. But while Claressa was still trying to fight with her fists, Tesehki had other ideas, and the move she made next, baby, nobody saw it coming out of nowhere. Just a few days ago, Tesehki posted a picture that shook the internet to its core. Who was in the photo with her? None other than Papoose. Yeah, that Papoose, the same man Claressa is dating publicly, and the same dude. That nearly sparked a whole separate fight between Claressa and Remy Ma not long ago. Tesehki dropped the pic with the caption, "Chow your ninja know who the champ is, my lord." That line right there, BR. It was giving shade, swagger, and straight up dominance all in one swipe. Folks were stunned, some gasped, others laughed, everyone talked. Even though it was just a single photo, the energy behind it was loud, the message crystal clear. Tesehki can get what she wants when she wants, and Claressa better quit playing games before she takes everything. And now, if word on the street is true that Flick wasn't just a coincidence or a casual link-up, it was a statement. People are saying Tesehki didn't just post that pic to stir the pot. She wanted Claressa to feel it loud and personal. Look, Claressa might have the medals, the belts, and the training, but this round Tesehki took the W without even throwing a punch. She didn't have to lace up gloves or break a sweat, just tapped one finger on that phone, dropped a pic, typed a savage caption, and boom, chaos unleashed. It was a power move straight out of the Petty Hall of Fame. That one flick had Claressa spiraling, and fast. Behind the scenes, folks say she was heated not because Tesehki swung at her, but because she made her look soft in front of the entire internet. And for someone who built her whole brand on being strong and untouchable, that cut deep. Claressa tried to get ahead of it quick. She clapped back with her own post, posing with Papoose like everything was still cool. Her caption, "Good morning to my man, and my man only. Child." Who that child? At the end, yeah, she was trying hard to downplay the damage and act unbothered, but everybody could see through it. That was a digital. So as she kept the post coming, 2 more captions, more shade, more subliminals. She even started hitting up people behind the scenes trying to get Tesehki to agree to the fight ASP. Like Claressa was calling folks, messaging insiders, trying to set the bout up herself. That's how pressed she was. But while she's doing all this, fans are starting to call her out. People on social media are straight up saying she's doing too much. Some folks are confused about why a decorated pro like Claressa is even entertaining all this. They're like, why is she spending this much time on Shay? Ain't you got a match to train for? Now the internet's asking the real question, is Claressa trying to defend her name or just chasing clout at this point? Because let's be honest, it's looking more like a pride issue than a boxing one. Some folks been acting like they know everything, but we only been seeing them for 30 seconds, and they're already jumping into drama, disrespecting Tesehki, and sneaking around with people's men. The internet, don't forget, and fans are starting to get real tired of the slick shade coming from certain corners. At the end of the day, Claressa Shields is a legit champ, trained, tested, and stacked with accolades. Nobody's taking that away from her, but let's not act like Tesehki isn't built for war in her own right. She came up in the fire with raw instincts and street smarts that you can't learn in no gym. If she had the same resources, the same kind of elite level training that Claressa's had for years, woo, a whole different story. Real talk, Tace might actually run it up on her in the ring. And look, the jealousy, it's peeking through. Claressa's been moving real pressed lately, and fans are noticing. Some say it's jealousy masked as competition, others think she's just not used to someone who don't back down. Either way, it's been wild to witness, but now we want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Tesehki could take on Claressa? If she trained like a pro, could she really shut it down in the ring and prove all the doubters wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're watching everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a drop of this heat. There's way more drama coming down the pipeline, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's next. Catch you next time, my stars and hushers. Stay loud, stay locked, and stay messy with us right here on Celebrity Press.